Hey, everybody. Good energy to you guys. Today has it's been a little bit slower for me. Woke up feeling like every once in a while I wake up with like these headaches and just feeling congested and you know, but usually after a couple hours it goes away, but it can leave me a bit drained. So that's how I'm feeling. It's also very gray and cool out. Or, probably cold, more cold than cool. But anyways, I just want to talk. Again, just continue to push all the good reasons to get out of these cities. If you know about spirituality, you have to let something in. You have to allow. There's a cause and effect for everything. So, demonic possession, and these things. I mean, that can get into exorcisms and all that. But, I like to break things down to, like a scientific level, like an energetic, pattern type way of looking at things that makes, good sense. Because I think that's how things really work. They're more simple, and straightforward, but also more abstract at the same time than we think. But just about demonic allowance, and how it's like when you watch porn, you're letting demons in. When you get drunk, and again, a lot of times it's not just doing it once. It's the continuation of these things that really allows the spirit in, because then you're saying, yeah, this is something I'm into. It's something I continue to consume. It's different when one's just trying something. I think. There is a perpetuation. When you perpetuate things, it's a different type of force. It's momentum. It's just a stronger pull, stronger attraction to other entities and things out there, has stronger repercussions. So, the problem with staying in these cities and trying to make this ascension and trying to fight back against this beast is, all like just their taxes, the money, the consumerism, just the attention, all that stuff goes in support of the beast. It's all a dependency that we've allowed. So we're like, because we're dependent on it, we're allowing these demons in. That's the big problem, and it goes to the infrastructure. I mean, if you're paying for the utilities, you're using their water, all these things. Now, the more you use, the worse off you are. The more people you're around that are using, the even more worse off you are. So again, the reason why I stress these big cities being such issues, just on so many different levels, but especially spiritually speaking, because they're just enabling and allowing so many evil spirits in. People don't even realize. Pops was the first one that really got me thinking about how, psychologists, that, they give us these terms, schizophrenia and bipolar and all these other things, and it's really just a spiritual balance, an energetic balance, man. These are just words that we put on labels and stuff, but it's all energy. It's just somebody's gone a little bit, they're not at a harmonious level, man. There's things missing, there's lessons that they haven't learned yet, or that they've been stagnant in learning, and have thus become sick spiritually. And we give them these labels and give them these pharmaceuticals, and which pharmacy is sorcery. So we're continuing to add to the this pattern of already kind of mixed up patterns. It's like adding another element in there. It's not really helping. It's actually taking away from the feelings that he's feeling, which he really needs to listen to and sit down and talk about and express, and maybe have some help articulating to figure out what's actually going on with this person, to help balance him out so that he's not so sick anymore. But instead they give us things like band-aids or pills that just take away the pain, therefore not allowing us to gain from the lesson at hand. So and a lot of what's going on here is the exact same way. Like even the vaccines, just all the pharmaceuticals that come with it, just the drawing on of the distractions, the TV shows, the video games, the food, all that shit just numbs us and makes us feel good, in the moment, that instant gratification. Yeah, it feels good eating that fucking burger and drinking the beer and all this shit, but it's not. We're pushing away pain. We're not actually, to live these type of lives, you know, soberly, like without any type of distractions. I mean, what type of sane person can continue to watch this mess continue without distractions? I mean, everybody is. My family, they don't talk about what's going on, but they certainly are always distracted doing stuff, you know, or they're just oblivious to it, which in a sense is a lot like negligence. You know, that's a whole other spiritual issue. But again, a lot of that has to do with people's dependency, their comfort zones. They're not wanting to trust other people, them being afraid of losing all these things that they think they really need. You know, it's amazing how, I mean, the creature comfort thing, like, you know, I've never, it's just never been a big deal to me. You know, I've always been a very, you know, minimalist type person. You know, it's just never, having a lot of stuff has never been something that I've wanted. So it's interesting to see how much people just cling on to things. You know, the spell of ownership is deep. And again, this is why, you know, it's imperative that, you know, we, you know, push these grassroots movements and develop these nonprofit organizations that help us move away from, you know, these cities, and also just help us change our perception. So one of the ways that's really good to change one's perception is to actually change one's location. You know, you actually change where you live, what you see every day, and this goes into epigenetics and how everything that we are around, everything we see, everything we do, all goes to changing our DNA. So when somebody's perception is sick, you know, you have to look at their whole life, everything they see, everything they consume, everything they do throughout their whole day, and you got to change it. You know, or at least change most of it, you know, because a lot of it is not helping them. It's aiding their sickness instead of actually aiding their well-being. But by doing things like getting back, you know, closer to nature, growing foods like hemp and other organic foods, working on good projects, doing good, and actually I just wrote down a list of, you know, fun activities, fun, healthy activities, like, you know, just ping pong, piano, like bocce ball, chess, even board games. I mean, you know, even building forts. You can construct toys, art projects. I'd love to build an amphitheater and start getting back to performing, and just musicians, letting people, you know, just do whatever they want on stage. You can get into like even circus acts. I mean, there's tons of things that we can do that don't require electricity, that don't cost money, that don't require all these fucking gadgets and apps and fucking things that we've become so dependent on, you know, that are not even really that much fun anymore, man. And they hurt your eyes, and they cost money, and then you got to plug it into a wall, which takes electricity, which comes from a plant that is more than likely exploiting and polluting the environment. So, and all this stuff has a spiritual, karmatic, perpetual effect on us and everything that we're around. So it's deeper than people think, you know, and it's very, you know, covert, you know, if you know what I mean. I mean, they're not telling you these things like, oh yeah, when you buy this product, you're buying yourself a curse. Like, they're not going to tell you that because you're not going to buy the product. But in fact, that is largely what's happening, you know. And again, how you use the product says a lot about how powerfully that curse is going to affect you, and also just what type of energy you're perpetuating. Your intention means a lot in everything that you do. So, you know, if your intention to use with these dirty products is of good nature, is to help humanity, it's not really going to fuck with you the same way as somebody who's using these products to help, you know, traffic children or other fucking nefarious activities. So yeah, man, you know, I'm sorry if it's kind of like not, you know, it's not more of a inspirationally feel-good video, but you know, not every day's as happy as the other days, man. Sometimes you got to go through the down ones, and that's just kind of the mood here. But I just want to make a video, and again, just kind of let people know, like, these are the reasons why I feel like sometimes it's so hard to be happy, and, you know, there's reasons why shit feels so depressing sometimes. It's not just because it's winter or, you know, the sun's not shining. It's deeper than that, and, you know, the more we work on the project, the more I know I work on the project, or just things that are good for creation. I mean, I really want to help encourage people to start developing their own non-profit type movements, you know, whatever you can do, what type of skills you have, or, you know, practice your skills, you know, figure out what they are, you know, experiment with things, and figure out a way to start something that is not perpetuating a love of money, but perpetuating just a love of doing that thing, that service for humanity, you know. And if you feel like expanding, or you need extra stuff or whatever, you know, have a donation jar, and if people's hearts feel fit to allow you to have that, then so be it. If not, then it wasn't meant to be, you know. It seems to be a good way of going, rather than, you know, having these set expectations and contracts and quotas we have to fill, you know, completely. Now, having a minimum work requirement is just something that helps make sure that we all are, you know, on the same page of getting shit done. Because let's be honest, like, without that, like, a lot of times people are just, you know, it just leaves too much room for people to not do things. And again, it's only a minimum requirement, so I don't think it's asking too much to have people just do the basic amount of work that's required to literally cover the things that they consume, and give them just, you know, I mean, that as well as just, I mean, that's largely it, but part of that goes into, you know, just the overall, I mean, that's it, you know. It's some people consume more than others, you know, and this and that, and that's why it would be good to have some type of a fluctuating system or algorithm to, you know, check and balance people to make sure that they're not consuming too much. You know, maybe depending on that, somebody could work less, you know, I don't know. That's an interesting point, but you know, I'm still working on a lot of the intricacies. But the point is, I mean, if you're going to be there and you're going to use things, you know, then you got to do the work to cover those things. It's just, you know, simple equation in my part. So that's all I'm trying to get at with everything. Just to try to get us all on the same page, to where really to end this parasitical nature that humanity's been fucking living for a long time, you know. And I don't even think that most of humanity, you know, it's not even in our nature to live like this. You know, we have been turned into something that we were not designed originally to be, you know. Now, it's destined because it's happening, which is okay, and it's all about us learning about good and evil. But again, you know, we have come away from, you know, being real co-creators. That's why creativity, all this type of stuff is really dying out. We're noticing it more than ever, because that's what they want us, that's what they want, is to suck our creative essence and make us weaker and sicker, and they fucking grow stronger, you know. So, you know, just think about detaching. All right, love you guys, bye.